Good evening, everyone. I want you to think about this for a second. You might think you're just just an ordinary person in an ordinary job, and you don't have that certain title or that certain position. You think, how can God really use me? But all throughout the Bible and all throughout history, extraordinary things have been done by ordinary people. I want you to think about that. And somehow I was reading Jeremiah 38:7 about this man named Ebed-Melech, who was an eunuch, or he was a servant in the king's house. But it was when Jeremiah was put down in the well that Ebed-Melech was moved to go help him, to go talk to the king. And he really was an intercessor, and he went and pulled Jeremiah up out of the well. Think about that. And later on, God remembers him when he's about ready to bring judgment and punishment on the city, and he remembers the faith and the trust that Ebed-Melech put in God. And he just didn't put his faith and trust in him. He showed it with action. That's the kind of faith and trust God is looking for. So I want you to think about this. Many people all throughout the Bible have done great things that we could say they were nobody. A cupbearer, we knew who that cupbearer was, Nehemiah. He was the one that was moved to help rebuild the walls. He could have just said, I'm just a cupbearer. But no, he was moved. The great apostle Paul did so many great things, but it was Ananias, just an ordinary Christian who made himself available to be used by God to pray over him, to heal and touch Paul's eyes, and to share the word of God with him, and to begin his walk with Jesus through just an ordinary man. I want you to think about this: a shoemaker, a Sunday school teacher, just an old couple have done extraordinary things. They didn't let their age or their title do great things because they touch people. I just want to say these quickly. Bill Bright, one of the greats, has been touched by an old couple. Billy Graham and D.L. Moody were touched by Sunday school teachers. And Spurgeon was touched by a shoemaker who was just sort of like a fill-in preacher or a deacon. So I want you to think about that. So it's not your position or your title you have. It's what you do with the position that you entitled that you have, and use it for God's glory and for the advancement of the kingdom. So just think, you're not an ordinary person. You're an extraordinary person doing the work and will of God. Be that salt. Be that light. No matter what your title, no matter what your position is, and advance that kingdom and love people into Jesus. And I want to ask you before we get off is, follow Jesus today. Are you doing that? And find life on the journey with him as you walk with him each and every day. See ya.